Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome on in. Yeah, clearly I'm just getting set up right now. Hey Fallen, how's it going? Hope you're having a good Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh, I forgot the most important thing. All right, there. All right, now we're ready to go. There we go. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Oh, the glare is just horrific there. Yep, that's good. All right. Hey. Oh my goodness. You can tell I was running a couple minutes late. But welcome on in. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, as I've probably said like 8 times now. I hope you're having a good one. I hope you had a good day. Hope you got to hang with some friends, some family, or just had a nice day to yourself, if that's how you do it. Either way, here we are. Yeah. I haven't had my coffee yet, so I'm going to just take a dramatic sip. I will keep the turkey hat on until Frank is here for the premium content. I can't leave Frank out. Of course not. I mean, it is Franksgiving. Yeah, I keep it on. It's good. Thankfully it's lightweight, so that helps out. Yeah, goodness. It's been a fun and a full day. We start off, our family tradition is we always start off watching the Macy's parade, and we always make Ashley's family recipe these like sausage balls. So yeah, it's sausage and cheese and flour, and that's pretty much it. We've been doing, we adapted it so it's keto now because we've got one kiddo on keto diet for epilepsy stuff. About Stranger, oh that's right, I heard the new season dropped, so I completely missed the boat on Stranger Things. I was aware of it when it came out, and it seemed like it might be something I would like, but we just never started it. And now I feel like, well, we also don't get Netflix, but. Oh, okay. Is that the first? Okay, yeah, because our friend we were talking to, they said the first half of the season, so I thought, is it just 8 episode seasons? I didn't realize that. But that seems like a pretty good day, if that's what, if you enjoy that. Sorry, that sounded really lame. That sounds like a good day. I'll just go with that. I will go with that. Excuse me. Next part comes out on Christmas. Okay, so you got something to look forward to. The finale is on New Year's. Wow, they hit all the big holidays. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, so gosh, it's been a pretty good last week. So I've been off. I've been able to work on art, which is good because I have a lot of art deadlines coming up. One fairly soft, the other two pretty firm. But I've got, yeah, so tonight we're working on the GDQ piece. That's actually, I guess it's a little soft on that, but I really want to get it done as early as I can. So that I got plenty of time to get the thing made and shipped and get it to GDQ, so it can be there at the start of the marathon. I felt really bad that I didn't get everything to them until like after the run on SGDQ. But yeah, so we'll be working on that tonight. I've not only gotten started, but I'm now mostly done with inks on my superhero project, power poster for a kid. I think technically we're allowed to share the art, but we cannot share anything about the kid. Just to be safe, I'm probably not going to share it on stream yet. It'll come out on Instagram when Superhero Project releases it as well. But I'm having a lot of fun with that, and that's been very cool to get to do one of those again. And then I have also been working on the library D&D piece, and that one I can actually show the characters as they're coming along. Hold on, I was gonna open the project and then I didn't, and that's just super cool. Okay, it's not even in my recent. Wow. Wow. So that's been good. We're wrapping up the Cartoons holiday issue. That is pretty much done at this point. So it's coming along. Got lots of things going on on the art front. Yeah, okay. Found it. So this is what I've got so far for pencils on the library D&D crew piece. I really only like the mimic is one of my kids, so I knew that character, how they looked. The raccoon, I definitely I sat next to, he's one of my friends, and I saw him sketch it, so I knew that one looked like. I designed this one for a friend, but everybody else, all the other characters, I just had no idea what they looked like. So I've been designing characters, and it's actually been quite fun. So I think I'm at, if you count like creatures and familiars. What do you mean? What do you mean I look ridiculous? Look. I don't know why I felt the need to just stare directly into the camera for that time, but I think it's great. I think the turkey's a little bit over it, but I'm fine with it. Also, hey Frank, happy Franksgiving. How's it going tonight? Hi. I was just talking about our D&D crew piece that I'm working on, so yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun doing some of the kind of like character design stuff. Did I deep fry it? We actually had Thanksgiving dinner at a friend's house this year, and no, they did not deep fry it, but it was delicious. But yeah, I think counting creatures and familiars and characters, I'm at like, I've designed now 12 of 23 that I'll be doing, and then I've got, one of them is my character, so that one I just need to draw him. One is a fairly simple character, so not too far. I was hoping to get it pencils done so I could share it with folks at our next D&D session. I may not make it in time for that, but then I could do the next one. We're actually ending this campaign, I think, if everything is still on pace, at the next session. So you were told to do dessert right away, so it's shared. Okay, we can absolutely do dessert right now. How is my 50s going? Wait. My 50s? Surely you're not implying that I am in excess of 50 years old, or even at 50 years old yet. Surely, sir, you jest. I mean, I guess I'd say I'm working on them, working on getting there. Does that count? Anywho, yeah, this is cool. I'm really excited to finish this one. This has been fun. But let's go ahead and do dessert of the week. Hop over to the Discord. I can see why. This is very appropriate. This is highly appropriate. Let me just... Yeah, there we go. All right. Gonna do it. Just... All right, Fallen. Take it away. Tell us all about these delightful cupcakes. Turkeys. Yes, that is... I like how it was a big wind-up, like it was something like intensely dramatic that needed tons of explanation. Indeed, they are turkeys. So at first when I looked at it, I had assumed that the turkey heads were like chocolate molds. That's basically it. Made them for my coworker. Like, I thought that it was like a chocolate mold of a turkey, and then I realized as I looked closer that no, that was actually piped, which is pretty cool. It's chocolate frosting. Nice. So is this still in your time at the bakery, or was this something you did just kind of on your own? Yeah, I can practically taste the frosting. Yeah. Question for you guys: when you get a cupcake like this that has like that mountain of frosting on the top, do you try to take an even bite out, or do you just like eat the frosting first? Made it at work, but it was in between orders. Nice. Frosting first. I try to balance it myself. I'll usually like take a chunk of the frosting first, like clear out a space, and then eat down some of the cupcake, and then kind of work through, so it sort of alternates. So it's a little bit of frosting first, but then also a little bit of balanced bites. I'll try to get at least one that's both cupcake and frosting. Not that there's really a science to it, but if you have ice cream, you mix it with the cake. Now that is brilliant. It has been a while since I've had cake and ice cream together. And I don't really know why. Well, I guess I know why. We don't usually do a lot of ice cream these days with the keto and the keto diet. Although there are good keto ice creams out there. We just haven't done that as much lately. It's interesting. It seems like once you cut back on sugars a lot, especially noticing this for our kiddo, you tend to crave it less, which is interesting. But these look awesome. I do think this is the perfectly appropriate dessert of the week for today. So thank you for sharing. And now back to a very serious discussion. But yeah, that's what's up. Cartoon's moving along. GDQ piece tonight. Superhero project moving along. Library D&D thing mostly coming along. A very serious discussion with a turkey on my head. Does anybody want to start a serious discussion while I have this turkey on my head? We can try. I don't really know where I'm going with this. I have no idea, in fact. Okay, I could probably just do the art thing. That's probably the best idea. Really, if you think about it, if you think about it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is gonna jump over to our warm-up, jump back to art. Beep. Okay, and bring up our random Pokemon generator. I have been having a lot of fun doing the mashups or the fusions lately, so we're gonna keep rolling with it. I didn't even put my art glove on. My gosh, what am I doing? It would be amazing if I got Skarmory as a randomly generated Pokemon on Thanksgiving. We'll see. All right, there's the random Pokemon generator. What do we got? Cinccino. I always say Cinccino, but I'm like, oh, maybe that's not really correct. Cinccino maybe. What is the, hold on, I have a pronunciation guide. This is a burning question and we must know the answer. All right. I'm gonna do this right, guys. It is Cinccino. Okay, okay, I had it. It was good. Do you have a baby sitting at the table with you? Wait, a real baby? Or are you talking about Lily? A human baby or dog baby? Cinccino. Okay, it's Cinccino. And Grumpig. Ooh, that was very loud. All right. This is gonna be interesting. This should be a fun mashup. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do is clear this guy out, pull up some reference real quick. You know the drill. Do the thing. Label my layers. There's our fusion. It's right there. Easy. Done. Boom. Just kidding. Okay, so yeah, the drill is this is just a 5-minute warm-up, quick sketch. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be anywhere near finished. I'm just trying to loosen up and get into art mode for the day. Though I did not sit at a desk doing a day job today. I just did not sit at a desk today. So, all right, would help if I started the timer. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, so you are welcome and encouraged to draw along. So timer starts now. I could have gotten my pencil out or my stylus out before I started the timer, but hey, apparently I like a challenge. Okay, so I think we got to go with Grumpig Head here. I have no particular reason for saying that, but I just think we do. Let's do a purple for our sketch color tonight. Why not? I'll do light lines, so that's not a promising start. All right. This is already gonna get weird, I can tell. Okay. So there's that. Maybe give it like a little bit of like that other side eye. Something like that. All right, now we add in some Cinccino elements. Oh yeah, this is definitely not nightmare fuel. So then it's got to have like the scarf, right? Goodness gracious, that's loud. All right. Maybe make the body like a little bit smaller. Something like that. Should I give it the little stumpy legs? What do you think? Stumpy legs? Or more like piggy legs? Ashley's here, by the way.
So it's a bat type thing?
This is like kind of like a flying squirrel almost type, I always saw it as. And that's like a pig with a spring tail.
I don't like that one. The stumpy legs.
Stumpy legs? Okay.
Also, love the turkey.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Say good night, Dash, everyone. Okay, there's that. There's that. We'll do stumpy legs. Okay. Gonna go with the big arms because why not? Bum, bum, ba-da-bum. Bum, bum, ba-da-bum. Wow, this is definitely an interesting one. All right, so the hair comes down like that, and it loops around, and loops around, comes up there, and there, and then we also have the spring tail. Actually cuts off like right there. Okay. Oh goodness. I kind of think the medium body was not the right choice. I kind of think it needs to be either bigger or smaller. What would that look like here? Smaller? Yes. Okay. This is what I want. Okay. All right, that's time. That's time. All right, pencils down. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna fix the tail. Actually, let's just erase. Just gonna fix this up a little bit. There's that, and then the tail is just gonna come here. I'm gonna make the tail actually smaller. I feel like it needs to be smaller. And just erase a little here so it's clear that this is in front of that sweeping thing. All right, okay, this is something. We definitely made something. What do we think? Do we think Chinch Pig or Grumpchino? Grumpchino? Grumpino? Maybe? Alright, I'm sorry. Grumpino. That's what we're gonna go with. Okay. Gonna put a little math in here. All right, cold hard facts. Maybe I'll just add a little question mark, just, you know, to show there's a little bit of flexibility in it. Arms are too high. Arms are too high. I'm seeing that now. So if I just kind of... There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. You know what? At least it made me laugh. Regardless. What's today? Like the 27th or something? Okay. All right, so we're gonna hop back to our GDQ, the GDQ piece, which for everyone, I don't think I mentioned it before. I didn't update this command at all because I'm lazy. But for anyone who doesn't know or isn't familiar, Awesome Games Done Quick 2026 is a charity video game speedrunning event that kicks off January 4th, Sunday, at around 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and will run through the late hours of Saturday, January 10th, and probably maybe an hour or a few hours, depending on how they go with schedule and how the last game goes, into the wee hours of Sunday, January 11th. They are raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, which is an awesome cause. The schedule is just stacked. Like we looked at it last week, and it's ridiculous. Like lots of great games, and you get to watch people totally break them in hilarious ways, always, and some terrible games too. There is an awful games block, which is definitely worth a watch, or at least watching the videos of it afterwards if you don't catch it because it's kind of early in the morning. But anyway, yeah, they usually raise $2 to $3 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation over the course of these events, and part of that is, you know, it's all through donations. Part of what helps drive those donations is prizes. If folks donate prizes, which can be pre-made store-bought things, or it can actually also be custom-made works of art. And during certain blocks of games, when folks donate a minimum amount, they're eligible to win those prizes. So we've done this for 4 GDQs in the past. Four? Maybe, I think. So we did the Sleepy Paldean Starters one. We did the Kirby, the gigantic Kirby canvas print. I did the, oh no, I've done 5 so far. Yeah, because I did the Sinnoh Starters, like picnic canvas print. Then I stopped doing canvas prints, and I did the Sonic and Knuckles blanket. And then Summer Games Done Quick this year, I did the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening towel. So we've done 5. This will be my 6th one. So we're figuring out, I was trying to figure out what the best format was for this, because I like doing things that you can use. And Ashley's had some cool suggestions. And she actually suggested something early on, and at first I wasn't sure. And now I think it actually is the best way to do it. Now that I've started on some of the art, I think I'm going to do a coffee mug set, actually. Because, hold on. Like looking at some of these, I'll show you all. No, that's not. Wait. Where was I looking? I had like the thing. I had it. Where are you? Perhaps those were not. MPix was one of the sites I was looking at for, you know, custom printed stuff from the images. But I'm not seeing the mugs that I was looking for I did before. So maybe I did those through a different one? Was that I've printed through Walmart before. That's actually where we got the Sherpa blanket from, and that was pretty cool. Hold on. Before I show you, I have to find it. You know, don't you know? There we go. I guess maybe it was this? Where are you? My goodness. Okay, there we go. There we are. But this wasn't the site either. It's something like this. I will bring it up and show you. So yeah, so we're, you know, I'm doing, for the game that I picked to work on, I'm doing Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver, because Gold was my first Pokemon game that started me, you know, down that road, and I'm definitely an avid Pokemon fan now, as you might tell from our warm-up. And I like drawing the cute, like, sleepy Pokemon, so it seems perfect to put them on a coffee mug. So I was going to do art of the starters, and I'm like, well, last week I sketched out the basic form and the final evolution, but I thought it would be cool. What if I had a progression across the mug of like basic form, you know, first evolution, final evolution of all 3 starters, and do 3 mugs, and then see, this wasn't it because they don't have a green inside, but like, okay, you do like a red inside for the fire and the blue inside for the water, and then you know, a green inside for the grass type. So I'll figure out what that is. But at any rate, I know the medium that I want to do now. And so I kind of know that told me that I need to do 3 more sketches before I start getting into, and my sketches are pretty much pencil level already. So really I just need to then get into inking and coloring. And it's not as ambitious of a project as I've taken on, but I think it'll still be really cool. So I'm excited for it. So that was my plan. That is what we'll be working towards tonight. Okay, it's time to draw. It is time to draw. You're right. Last week we did these fellows for the basic forms. Fellows or gals. And then we did these for the final evolution forms. So now I just need to make the intermediate forms. Which I will do now. I will also add reference. So we have Quilava. We have Crocona. And we have Bayleaf. which honestly, in my personal opinion, might be like the best evolution of Chikorita. Meganium's cool, but actually I think Bayleaf is a little bit cuter even. That's just my personal opinion though. It may not be a popular opinion, especially with Chikorita being one of the starters for Legends ZA, but alright. Anyway. Checking those, labeling everything. So Frank, you have your computer all set up? Your laptop? Okay. I've labeled my layers, I've got my references. I'll use a similar color to what I used over here just for consistency. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm not actually starting on my main piece until 10:45. That's a bit behind schedule, but that's okay. It's Thanksgiving. We're enjoying the holiday. Alright, so I did stretching for Cyndaquil. I did either curled up or sprawled out for Typhlosion. I think the sprawled out is the way to go on that one. So what's in between? What's something that's good in between? Do one that's kind of maybe not pointing as much to the side, but probably not looking to the side so much as just kind of nodding the head off to one side. Something like that, maybe. Give him some sleepy ears. Nope. So Frank, are you working on a new comic tonight? Actually, the eyes are more on the side of the head there. Doing a loosey-goosey but having nothing so far. So are you still continuing the misadventures of Goose having a cell phone? I maybe need to tilt the head a little bit more to make it a bit more like kind of nodding off. Nope, that's not it. I always move the rotate reference point when I don't want to, and then don't move it. Maybe you don't know yet. Yeah, fair. But what if it... I mean, I like a lot about this one. But I think... maybe let's try this. Actually, I should probably scale these down slightly. There we go. Give myself a little more room to sketch. Maybe even lean the head forward a little bit, so it'd be more of a almost shield type shape. Not as big as I was drawing it there. And the ears would be like this. And this one you could actually make it with its mouth open, like it's snoring a bit more. Could actually push it a little bit more, just have it like laying down. I don't think I've done anywhere they're like laying down mostly facing the front. So that could be kind of cute to do. Feet like right there. Maybe something like this. Fire spot right there. It would not be on fire because it's sleeping. I know, like, I like these all well enough, but nothing is giving me that sense of, like, yeah, that's definitely the one I want to do. More like that out in front, not as... There's the paw there, there's the elbow there. I think that's about the right width. Head might be a little bit big. That's probably a little bit closer to what it would be, I think. Maybe? Eraser. Maybe I'll come back to Quilava. I like these okay. I do. Just not 100% sold on them yet. I'm in the back of my mind, like, trying to think of loosey-goosey comic ideas. I know, Frank, you're usually just fine on your own, but now that you mention it, I'm like, huh, what would be good? What would be interesting? Maybe I'll shade this a little bit, just kind of give a little better visual of where, like, the dark spots and light spots would be. And these are all mostly the same here. This is the only one that'd be like pretty different. Oh, hold up. Okay. I can work with that, probably. You know what's fun is you wear the turkey hat long enough and you forget that it's on your head. Okay, let's move on to Croconaw. Yeah. It's got that really large pronounced jaw, which feels like if I didn't do something with that, it would be kind of a waste. But like I don't know how intense to go with it. So I don't really like that. That does need to be a little bit bigger there. Okay. Somewhere around it here. Or could just shrink that. Yeah, that seems more appropriate to the size. Okay. Something like that. Bed? Good night. Good night, Frank. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you next time. And happy Franksgiving, as always. It's right there. Okay, so the head fin does need to be a little bit bigger. Let's fix that. Also, I should probably shrink this down so I have room for, you know, other drawings on the page. Because, yeah, we have, like... So, yeah, do that. We have the slumped for alligator there. I think I like the sprawled out on its tummy one the most. Excuse me. Also, this doesn't really look at any of his like spots. Yeah, I don't know. Also, I realized I was gonna do one more thing, like with this pose. What I could do is try to angle the head up a little bit more, and then you can kind of get the mouth open, which would make it a little bit more expressive on this. So like the ears a little more like this, and then you get the inside of the ear. Something like that. Eyes would be like here. A little more rounded on there. Then the border of... Sorry, I should clear that out first. I have to bend these a little bit because its arms are pretty long in the reference. So it feels like that'd be actually a little bit short to have them straight. That looks weird. That bend looks really bizarre. This is really, really, really bizarre. You can always shade it too to make it, give it a little bit more of like a shaded appearance in here, like to show that it kind of is bent inwards. That might work. That might be a better way to go. All right. Well, tell you what, we just hit 11 o'clock. This is traditionally my break time, and I'm actually going to take one tonight. So I'm going to put you guys on break. I'm going to run a 1 minute ad roll, finish my coffee, grab a quick water, and I'll be back here in 2 or 3 minutes, something like that. So yeah, I hope you have a nice break, and I will see you in just a few. All right, I'm back. I hope you had a good break. I did. It was a good refresh. Yeah. Yeah. Let us keep going. Get these shapes a little bit more. So, yeah, you can't see as much of his shape with his arms like that. I was gonna have him leaning forward. What if I do that? Let's try this. Nope, that is not what I meant to do. There we go. Merge you with the layer below. All right. And where do I want to rotate this from? I'm going to rotate it from here. Okay, so far so good. I actually want to rotate this a little bit up. I can probably even move this jaw a little bit more open. So maybe that last of like the head fin part we kind of squished here. That would come through like that. Yeah, so as I was coming back from break, I was getting back on the computer, and I moused over like the the Windows menu, and it likes to show you like photos from this day, previous years, and usually that's a pretty fun thing. But the photos it showed me just then were not photos from this day in previous years. They were photos I gathered together on this day in previous years, specifically last year. And they were, photos of my dad's life and some of his accomplishments and moments. And I gathered them because this was last Thanksgiving. I was putting the finishing touches on his eulogy and preparing for a memorial service the next day. And I guess I had pushed that a little bit out of my head today. Especially, heading over to a friend's and celebrating, and that was really nice. But yeah, it's interesting feeling. I guess it never entirely gets easier when you've lost a loved one, but things do move on. But yeah, just those little things are just like, oh, Right. Actually, it should be down here. But yeah, that was a fun little thing that happened just coming back from break. Yeah, actually, I heard from one of my close friends from high school just recently. You know, on the anniversary of the day, he was just reaching out to say hey and check in. I thought that was really something special, and was much appreciated. Guess I could put the other foot in there. Okay, this is okay. It's okay. I can do. I feel like I can do better on this though. Why are the intermediate forms the hard ones? It's also because it's the third pose I'm drawing of basically the same Pokemon, the same line, and I don't want them to all be identical poses. So having to vary it up a little bit is a little bit trickier. I could try, you know, I could be different. I could repeat at least some of them between, like, oh, that's right, because I had Totodile on its back, so that would be why I don't want Croconaw on its back. I mean, I could just do this pose, because I was gonna do probably the sprawled out on its tummy one for alligator. So I probably want to do. I could just turn this pose, like rotate it in space, because the side view is not as strong as I had hoped it would be. I guess the nose would come to a little bit of a point. It doesn't need to be so wide on the actual jaw portion. Like, the head is definitely wide, but the actual jaw would be something like this. Then when you're looking at the top part, it would actually be more like that. How interesting. Even be that. Although, okay, I see the problem here though, is now you've actually completely lost most of the face and the expression and the fin and a lot of those interesting details that are pretty cool. I mean, I get this cool pattern at least on its tummy, and that's neat, I guess. So you get this, which is actually not bad. I might just have to see it in pencils before I really make a decision. And these are kind of pencils, I guess, with more detail. This giant pencil for this initial sketch is not maybe perfect. What else? I need to switch it up. I need to do a different pose. But what different pose? This is kind of funny. Okay, maybe we've got potential here. there's like the top of the snout. Here's the inside of the mouth. Eyes would be like there. The head would have to be angled a little bit more down. Too far, too far. And then you'd have like the arm would actually be in front of the head a little bit. Okay, so I should move these guys. Actually, I think we do the foot like this. And actually then the tail needs to be a little bit shorter, not quite as pronounced. You know, this might have potential. At first, I wasn't sure, but now I'm kind of leaning towards it. Maybe. All right. At least it's a candidate. All right. So what do we do for Chikorita and Bayleaf? Let's take a look. Okay, we've got the really cute, kind of proper sitting Chikorita over there, and then we've got this Bayleaf one, or this Meganium one. I like this one over here, personally. I did switch back to art screen, right? I just had that nightmare, like, what if I forgot to switch my OBS scene back? Because, you know, I've never done that before, ever. Okay, so I like that Meganium. So I could shoot for something that's kind of a balance of the two. I don't know. Like thinking about it, like those like seed pod, like leaf buds, kind of on its neck, would make some of the sleeping positions I would consider drawing probably very, very uncomfortable for it. Maybe you could do something like, okay, that is an eraser. Hard to draw with an eraser on a white sheet of paper. Just saying. Something like that. We got like little tail. Would it be able to cross these legs? I don't know. Maybe. We'll go with maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure about that. Maybe that's not how it would sit at all. Maybe it would sit like legs folded, almost like the is that like a horse sit? Maybe. tail. It's not a super long neck on this one, which I need to remember. That's probably decent. So got a little bit of that kind of turtle beakish thing going on there. Okay, that could work. Alternately. Nope, not move. Copy, paste, and then move. Alternately, it just sits with its legs like splayed out in every direction, which is kind of hilarious, and I sort of like it. A little bit like pancaked. Excuse me. How do I do this? Hey, listen. Okay. So I should probably try one more pose just to be kind of... Just to give it like one more try. I think not to... I think sometimes I tend to like try to go with my first thing, which can be great. Sometimes like first instinct is wonderful, but I've definitely found, especially via critique groups, that when I develop only one idea, I'm actually kind of missing out on a lot of stuff, and I should probably take the time to at least look at a few different ideas before I choose one to develop. Now, did I do that on every one of the other sketches I've done so far? No, I didn't. I didn't do that. But this one, I feel like it's uncertain enough where I should do that. Or apparently I'm just having a hard time making decisions tonight, which never happens. Okay, well, I could do the other angle? Is that really... That looks utterly ridiculous. Well, there's gotta be something in between there. Yeah, no, that's not, I'm not gonna develop that one anymore. That's not quite. Oh, that's not quite right. Okay. Excuse me. It's been a couple late nights lately trying to get, especially one of the kiddos has had a hard time sleeping. Like when it's lights out and 4 hours later is when they finally fall asleep. That's always challenging. Cool. Yep. No thanks for buying viewers. It's not really my jam. I mean, I could try the sitting tight pose for this one too. Although its legs are not particularly. And we do have the sitting, and yeah, they're all kind of sitting. Whoopsie daisy. That was fascinating. All right. No, that doesn't look right either. What do I do with that back leg? That is the question, isn't it? Just a moment. looking up this song real quick. DJ Cutman. To listen to it later. All right. Back leg. What do we do here? We got neck comes here. We're sort of facing front. I mean, maybe I could. Maybe just something as simple as that? Is it that simple? It can't be that simple. It's never that simple. Oh, because like... it's actually like... yeah. Alright, so that is a little bit tricky because... torso is actually going to be turned a little bit more towards us. Sometimes you have to really think it through in 3D space. You're like, oh, what I draw and thought was great doesn't actually make any sense whatsoever. And if you look at it for more than 2 seconds, you realize that. I could just put a foot here, like that, and then this tail kind of comes up here. Actually, it might not even need to come up that high, just like that. Maybe? Maybe. I think it'll become clear if I start to do like more detailed pencils or inks, like what's actually problematic and doesn't quite work. But is this a start? All right. So at this point, we have pencils for all 3 stages of evolutions. I mean, I could just say they're sketches because they're not as tight as I like to do my pencils sometimes, but this is pretty tight. These are pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with all of them. So maybe this is where I start inking a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I need to get this moving forward. So let's try this. How many of them do I ink is a good question, because I do not know. I mean, obviously at least 1 per Pokemon, but let's see, do I use my standard trusty G pen? Do I use something that's got a little more texture to it? I mean, I can try a texture G pen, just see what I get out of that. All right, let's see if it does what I want it to. Oh, that is very small. Interesting. Yeah, I don't feel like this is quite what I wanted. Let's try this texture pen, maybe? Okay. That's not bad. It's got a little bit of a sharper cutoff on the pressure curve than I would like. Do I want to adjust this pressure curve? Maybe. Oh, starting and ending. There we go. No. Where is that then? I wish it wasn't. Oh, it is also an angle, like an oval tip and not a circle tip, which is sometimes fine. Oh yeah, no, I don't want to use calligraphy. That's no good. What do I want to do? Rough pen? How are you? That's a very rough pen. Okay. Maybe not there. What do I want to do here? Oh, is this the one? Yeah, no, that's not quite. Okay, that has a nice texture. The beginning and ending are not super sensitive. Okay. Maybe. How thick do I need to make this? See, it's got that line down the middle in the texture though, and I don't like that. What else we got? Real G pen? How's that gonna be? Okay, that's not a bad. A little bit of a tough time on that ending pressure curve. Yeah, but it is another oval pen again. Okay. Trying to see how I like it. It's a little bit of a different style than I've been doing. Okay, so if I were to turn off the sketch layer, okay, one, the nose is too thick. Two, how do I like this? Because then what I might try doing is something like, grab this color. And I might try that's way too dense watercolor. No. Oh, hey, welcome on in. Thanks. Yeah, Cyndaquil, that was my first line. I started with Pokemon Gold, actually, so Cyndaquil was my first starter. I definitely rode that one all the way through the Elite Four. I think by the time I finally beat the Elite Four, my Typhlosion was something like level 80 back then. But yeah, thank you. How you doing tonight? And happy Thanksgiving if you're here in the States. DiCaprio, is that right? Yeah, I think I can make the nose a little bit more thin, but I just want to test this whole color thing. All right, so What kind of colors do I? If I do the rough brush, it might look really cool with like a bit of a watercolor effect, but I don't do a lot of coloring in watercolor. It's just, maybe if I do something really big. So I can always clean up the outside a little bit later. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been, you know what? It's been a pretty good one so far. Okay, you know what? This look isn't too bad. I can just clean up a little bit outside. So you mentioned Cyndaquil is, have you never beaten the Elite Four? Yeah, so fortunately maybe, I have this tendency to always over level and just kind of level grind before I go into stuff, which kind of served me well in that way, but I usually also never end up really pushing myself as much as I could to like actually just learn the mechanics better to be able to take on things at a lower level. Alright, so that's the base color. I can color a little more here. That one gets a little darker. Maybe a little more here. And then make it a shadow. Brush a little bit. And one of the things I do really enjoy about Pokemon games is like there's so much you can do to just enjoy the game on your own sort of terms. Where like, you know, yeah, okay, I know I'm supposed to beat the Elite Four and become the champion, but also like I can just do things like shiny hunt or, you know, just work on building a team of my absolute favorites, and yeah, just kind of take the game at on your own terms, and that's really fun. I can merge these two, I think. I mean, that watercolor look I think is pretty cute. I do like that. It's true. It's true. Yeah. And I think especially in the newer games, you definitely have to have a bit more balance from what I've seen. Whereas like in the original Gold, you could get away with a lot. Like, I think, because you could actually, I want to say I was able to teach my Typhlosion like Earthquake and Thunder Punch maybe, plus Flamethrower. So I could handle almost everything with just one Pokemon. And so I could just ridiculously overlevel that Pokemon and not really have to worry about a balanced rest of my team. Alright. I do like the texture of this watercolor. I think that's coming through pretty nice. I think what's hard for me now, like I have the patience to do it. I just now as a parent of 2 kids and worker of a day job, I just don't have the time for it anymore to really build out a team. Oh, Brilliant Diamond. How did you like that one? Never the originals. I mean, the remakes look really, really fun, honestly. Diamond and Pearl were the generation that I actually missed. At least not yet. I mean, I think it's hard because there's so many games, so many Pokemon games out now. It's like it's hard to really consider playing catch up because they come out at a pretty decent clip. Like including DLC, it's about one per year. So I don't think there's anything wrong with not having played the originals. I mean, they're fun, but I think there's so much new stuff as the newer games come out that I don't know. Interact with the ones that you enjoy, that look good to you. If you have the chance to play the originals, go for it, but yeah. Alright, let's clear this out so I can get the other color in here. So, in Brilliant Diamond, who did you pick for your starter? All right, I'm gonna start. Merge that. Start a new layer here for these guys. I can clean this up a little bit. You played a lot on the plane? Oh, nice. Yeah, I do love that about. Well, I mean the Switch, obviously, but I mean all the other Pokemon games were on handheld. Monferno. Nice. So I'm sensing a preference for fire types. All right, that could work. That could work. I do think I need to fix the inks here. Let's go back to our pen and kind of. His nose is a little more angled. No, that is too big. I'm gonna do 20. Oop. Oh, I know what's happening. Make sure those cross so that when I do the vector delete or vector erase, it will actually do that. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks so much better. This might be the style. I don't know. Now the real question. Yeah, those have to be really hard to find right now. We're lucky enough to have a 3DS and a DSi that we bought when they were actually making them. But yeah, I can't imagine those are easy to find right now, especially new in box, like at least for cheap, you know. What if I do this? What if I duplicate? Oh yeah, there we go. That gets me a little more vivid color, which I like. Alright, but I'm gonna delete that for now because I actually need to do a little bit of shading. A little bit more shading. Okay. All right. Bring this down a little bit. Okay, this could work. This could work. Oh, so yeah, I don't know if you've heard of Games Done Quick. They do, well, I mean, yeah, kind of just for fun, but also because it's actually going to be a donation piece that I'm doing for the Games Done Quick charity event, which kicks off January 4th. One of the games they're running is Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and I've for the last, well, almost all of them, but I've done 5 art pieces for donations in the past for them before, and they use it as something that people can if they donate during a certain block of runs, they're eligible to win the prize. So I've done, gosh, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Am I still have oh my gosh, the pressure settings are still up, or the pen settings are still up because I didn't turn off that window. Whoopsie daisy. All right, that's better. But yeah, so I've done like photo prints of art that I've done. I've done canvas prints. Got a print on a blanket once. That was pretty cool. Did a print on a towel for the last one this summer. And I think this one is actually going to be, I'm actually going to do coffee mugs, believe it or not, with like all of the one mug for each starting line. Yeah. So it's all speed running. And they do everything from like recent games to a lot of like retro classic stuff, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, they're actually what started me on Twitch back when I first watched them in like, I don't know, 2014. So it's been cool to, as I've started streaming and doing art, to be able to kind of, I guess, give something back or participate in a way, even though I'm not necessarily a speedrunner. Yeah, it's been good. All right. So yeah, I've got sketches for, this is the basics. And I was gonna put, basically as you go around the mug, you'll get each evolution for each line. So I'll have a Cyndaquil line mug, a Chikorita line mug, and a Totodile line mug. Yeah, and I've got sketches then for Quilava, Croconaw, and Bayleaf. Still have to figure out which ones of those I like the best to use. Oh, thank you. I actually forgot that I had it on. Yes, it is a Thanksgiving tradition here on the channel when I do my Thanksgiving streams. But yeah, so I've got this is the first evolution line, and then I've got the final evolutions here. So I think I've figured out which ones I want for each of them, at least for the starter and the basic form and the final evolution. I just need to pick that intermediate one, which one I like best. But I'm also kind of just playing around and figuring out like what style I like. This is a little bit different from how I normally draw, in terms of like the type of brush I'm using, the type of coloring I'm using, the type of the pen for the inks. Just playing around a little bit before I get too deep into anything, figuring out what I really like. I should probably put that little dot. Let's see. give the little guy a nostril like he's supposed to have. It's like right there. There we are. Yeah. But I do like this style. This is coming out pretty nicely. Yeah, so I'm just experimenting around, kind of trying to figure out what I want to do for each of them. I might do another... another test with like a different style, more my usual one, and just kind of compare the two to see how I like it. Call this rough inks. I'm labeling layers over here on the side, which is why you see me doing things, but you don't see anything on screen. Okay, so what I'll probably do, check mark both these guys. Now what I can do is probably scoot it over. Is that what I want to do? Yeah. So I can move this over a little bit. Then I'll do a fresh vector layer for inks. Yeah, and then just do one that's a little bit more like my usual. Speaking of coffee, yeah, I just finished mine about an hour ago. I usually end up having to have one at the beginning of stream, just so I kind of, you know, I'm a little bit more lively and not like half asleep by the time I get to when I usually end stream. But yeah, it's not too bad. I don't know what time zone you're in, but I'm in Eastern time zone here, and it's definitely now hit midnight, which means I probably should wrap up soon, but I want to try this test real quick. So let's try a little bit. All right, one more time. Oops, yeah. I can do that a little bit better. Oh, it's 7 a.m. All right, you are. Wait. So yeah, you're definitely not in the States. Good morning then. I hope you're having a good morning so far. And now I definitely get the caffeine comment. Just that one back a little bit more. Back up to 15 here, because we'll do that. Here. Oh, Romania, cool. That is one of the things that I really think is amazing about Twitch, is just like you can just be hanging out and chatting with somebody on, if not the other side of the world, like significantly far away, and it's just just as easy as chatting with someone in your own time zone. It's cool. Okay, so yeah, this is more my usual type of style for illustrating. A little more cartoony in terms of like the heavy lines. They're a little bit smoother, stuff like that. Let's clean up some of these guys. Not bad. Okay. All right, so I can color that in then. Grab the color from Cyndaquil over here.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
I didn't completely grab this, but I can fill that in a second. Oh yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense. I honestly couldn't tell that English was your second or third or not first language when you came in. You're doing a great job. I had no idea. Fill in these guys. Color. Do my usual shading. See, how much shape do I want to give the head? Then add a little bit of light to it. All right. Multiply is not what I wanted. I probably wanted soft light. The new Mega designs? I think it kind of depends on which one. I know I did like X and Y a lot, and so I think it's cool. It's been cool seeing megas coming back a little bit and new Pokemon getting megas, because I kind of thought once Scarlet and Violet, well, actually once Sword and Shield went to Gigantamax, Dynamax, and then Scarlet and Violet went with Terastallizing, I was like, oh, I guess they're just done with Mega. So it was cool to see it come back, but yeah, they're not all. Yeah, they definitely are a different vibe. Some of them, you know. There's what is that YouTube channel? There's one that there's a YouTube channel I've been watching where they kind of break down like a lot of video game character designs, like not just from Pokemon, but also from like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. And they really look, you know, break it down from a design perspective. And I think it's been cool, like hearing their perspective on it, and like the idea of like, okay, like Mega Dragonite, for example, how parts of it are kind of cool because they take some of the pieces of Dragonair and Dratini that are lost in the original Dragonite design, and it works with them, but also it, you know, kind of looks ridiculous. Yeah, I agree. In my opinion, but like yeah, with Mega Dragonite specifically, how there's like the ridiculously large like wings on its head that are, you know, clearly can't be functional. But how it actually at least connects back to where there's the wings on the head of Dragonair, you know, so you get a little bit more continuity through the line when you think of it that way. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I know the big one that people had problems with was Mega Starmie, right? Wasn't that the one where people were kind of upset about it? Because it has the legs, right? Which is very strange for the starfish. Alright, almost done with this. Almost there. Bring this down a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna have to give this a little bit of thought, honestly. I'm not sure which one I particularly like better. I do see some differences in how I did the actual like inking in the two, especially on the nose, and I might need to fix that, but yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, all they did was add legs, basically. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. That maybe is not as interesting, just kind of strange. Okay. All right, so it is coming up on 12:15 here in the East Coast of the United States. So this is the time where I usually have to wrap up and start heading to bed. So I'm gonna save here. I'm gonna hop back on over to just chatting. Yeah, so thank you everyone for being here. DeCapri, thank you. It's been really nice chatting with you. I hope I get to see you again sometime. But yeah, for everyone else, everyone here, I am live every Thursday night around 10 p.m. Eastern in the United States. You could always catch my VODs here on Twitch. I always make sure to publish the recordings of my last streams here, and they also show up on YouTube, usually by the next Wednesday is when we get them up there. So you can find me there. You can also, if you would like to see more of my work or the comics I create with my wife, Ashley, you can find us obviously here on Twitch. You can find us on YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram as WagWorksGA everywhere. You can also check out our website, wagworksga.com. I will also get a plug here for Coretoons, which is the kids educational comics that we make with several other creator friends, currently distributed via a Substack, but we're actually working on, we've got the digital magazine started and have started kind of releasing those. So that's pretty fun as well. Anything else going on? Oh, I forgot to call out the ribbon again, but the purple ribbon that you see right here is for National Epilepsy Awareness Month, and I just want to call that out because I think it's really important to increase awareness, not just of epilepsy, but of the fact that seizures don't always look like the stereotypical ones you might think of, someone falling down and shaking. There's a lot of different types, and knowing what to do to help someone if you're around and they have one is very important as well. There's some very not great old advice, like things like shoving things in their mouth so they don't bite their tongue. That is actually like not the biggest concern. So if you're interested in learning more about the different types of seizures and first aid, you can check out the Epilepsy Foundation. Is this the command? Did I get the command right? I did. And that's just epilepsy.com. Which I know it seems weird for an organization like that to be a .com, but that is the right place to go. But please, if you're interested, educate yourself, as about 1 in 26 people in America have epilepsy. So it's a little more common than you would think. And a lot of those people are shouldering that burden pretty silently, trying to not share it. So at any rate, yes, that is what the ribbon is all about. This is actually probably our last stream during National Epilepsy Awareness Month. Yeah, so that wraps it up. That is everything for all of you who have been watching. Thank you. I appreciate you joining me for this time. If you're watching the VOD over on YouTube or if you're on Twitch, feel free to drop a follow, a like, a subscribe, a comment, whatever is appropriate for where you are, and whatever you feel like doing, because those are all great ways to support me, and most of them will cost you nothing. And for simply spending the time with me, I am very thankful. So once again, thank you everyone who is here. Happy Thanksgiving if you're here in the States. I mean, happy Thanksgiving to everyone, but not everyone celebrates it. So yeah, I hope you all have a great night. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.